it's very good to have you here. Boy, what an interesting story you have. It really is remarkable.
Yeah.
Where are you from originally?
I was born in Kenya, but I've lived in England my whole life.
You've lived in England your whole life. You are a principal dancer. And what does that mean? What does that term mean, a principal dancer?
So principal dancer, when you join a ballet company, you usually start in like the quarter ballet. So you do the group pieces, and then you hopefully get the opportunity to work your way up to the top, and then it means that I do the principal roles in the show now.
Are there assistant principal dancers before?
There are, like soloists. So you start quarter ballet, and then soloists, and then eventually you get the chance to be a principal, hopefully.
And you did a show last night in London.
Yes.
So then you got on, I assume you flew. You got on a plane and came right here.
Yeah, I am pretty spaced out right now. Like last night I was doing on stage at the Royal Opera House, Covent Garden, and then I went home, finished my packing, had 2 hours sleep, and then I got in the car and got on the plane, and now I'm here. So.
Unbelievable. So it's gotta be like a weird dream or something. And how long are you like actually on stage dancing during a show like the one you did last night?
Last night was usually about 3 hours.
3 hours? You're dancing for 3 hours?
I mean, with intervals, but obviously the intervals, we're not chilling. Like, I'm, like, changing hair, makeup, you know, like, putting on another costume, like, changing my point shoes, everything.
This sounds absolutely exhausting.
It is, yeah. It's tiring,
Is it fun, though?
Yeah.
It is
fun. Super fun,
yeah. And now you've made this transition, or you've dipped your toe, I guess, in acting. And was that always your plan?
No, I think this came about really, I heard about the opportunity to audition, and, you know, I felt like I had nothing to lose. Like, I loved my job, but I thought, what an amazing opportunity. And also, when I was younger, I used to, in my living room, I used to dance around as Victoria. I used to put Cats the video on, the stage musical video. And I used to copy Victoria. So obviously when I heard that I could potentially be her in the new, like...
You thought, hey, I got experience in this area here, for sure. And how many months did it take to shoot this movie?
I took about 6, 7 months off from the Royal Ballet.
When you take that much time off, do you, like, is it bad for ballet? Do you have to dance every single day to stay in shape or whatever?
Yes, the unfortunate thing is we train our whole life, and even if you take kind of more than 2 days off, you start to feel a difference.
Really?
So I would actually get to set, I would get to the filming studios like 2 hours before the rest of the cast, and I would go into makeup, and then I would do ballet class before everyone had even got to the makeup chair. So sometimes I was doing ballet class at like 6:30 in the morning. So
you're still taking classes?
Yeah, I had to like do my training every day on top of the filming as well. So,
and do you have like a coach there that helps you, or you do it all by yourself?
No, I asked someone to come in and like, you know, whip me into shape.
So these other actors are coming in, drinking their coffee, like, oh, I'm exhausted. And you're like, yeah, I did 2 hours of ballet.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then the cast is, you know, you've got this very high-profile cast. James Corden was here the other night. Dame Judi Dench is in the... Who else is in this cast with you?
Jennifer Hudson, Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, yes.
Yeah, Idris Elba.
And you all took cat lessons. Now, this is where you learn... Who teaches you to be a cat?
So we had a cat behavioral specialist on set.
Then that's a thing.
Yes, that's a real job, yeah.
All right. There's, by the way, no reason to applaud for that. Not a career I approve of, but go on.
So that's a lady called Sarah Dowling, and she's actually a choreographer who I knew before. And for this film, she just studied cat behavior and taught us, like, every time we do a scene, she'd really help us, like, make it, everything we did, like, a bit more feline. But also, like, we literally did cat school, like, every day. Like, it was part of, like, getting into the zone. Like,
so Judi Dench was in cat school?
Yeah.
And they were like, no, you have to be more catty, Judy.
Yeah, literally.
Really?
Yeah.
Did anyone cough up a hairball or anything like that? See a ball of yarn and suddenly you're running away? And then did you feel like it made you more like a cat?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, yeah, no, seriously, at, like, weekends when I had time off, when I was with my friends, sometimes they'd look at me weirdly and then they'd say, Frankie, you just pick that up like a cat. Like kind of, like, I don't know, something feline about the way I was doing things.
Frankie, why are you licking my face?
Yeah.
Here, let me get you a saucer of milk. Did you do that? Like, did you drink milk like that out of the...
We did in the film,
Oh,
yeah.
you did in the movie, all right.
Yeah.
Boy, Hollywood's dumb, isn't it? It's really dumb. I mean, you're a bunch of adults, highly successful people acting like cats, and some lady's like, no, you're not being a cat. You're not, you got to do it like this. And you go, oh, well, she's right.
Yeah, take it seriously, yeah.
So then do you want to do more acting? Is that the plan?
Definitely. Like, I love my job, and I want to keep doing ballet as long as possible, because it's, you know, it's a short career. It doesn't last very long.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
I got bounced out when I turned 35. and you sing in the movie as well.
I do, yeah.
Was that something that you've done through your whole life? No, it's not.
No, I sang at school a little bit, but this was completely out of my comfort zone. So, yeah, I just remember doing my first audition and being very terrified of singing in front of, like, one person.
Oh.
And then, obviously, just had to keep doing it with more help until I was just singing in front of a whole room of cast and crew and Andrew Lloyd Webber and Taylor Swift. And
oh, really? You had to sing in front of Andrew Lloyd Webber and Taylor Swift?
Well, they wrote my song in
Oh, they
Ghosts.
did?
Yes. Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
And then does Taylor Swift teach you the song that she wrote?
Well, I think probably one of the most surreal days of my life so far was when Taylor asked to meet me, and she had written the lyrics for Andrew's music, and she called me into a room and she basically gave me a private concert of the song for the first time, just me, her, and a pianist. And Tom Hooper, the director, and pianist.
I see.
Is that my accent? Did you not hear that?
Well, I'm just being dumb, sorry.
So she sang me the whole song.
I didn't go to cat school. I don't have manners. So she sang this song to you?
She sang the whole song just to me in a room, and then...
Was that uncomfortable?
No, it was really just surreal. And at the end of it, she said very, very sweetly, she said to me, is that okay? Like, she'd written it for me. Is that all right for you? And I was like, yeah, that's okay.
That was very nice of you to say that. Well, it's great to meet you. I look forward to seeing this movie. It's called Cats. It opens December 20th. Francesca Hayward, everybody. We'll be right back with Sheryl Crow and Stevie Nicks. Hey, I'm Jimmy Kimmel. Give back this holiday season in a fun way. Buy my new book, The Serious Goose. I wrote it and drew it. All the money I make goes to children's hospitals across the country. Or watch another gaming video and don't help kids. It's up to you.